Welcome back, beautiful souls. Today, we're going to talk about identifying the signs of a wounded woman and how to heal. We all carry wounds, some visible, some invisible. Emotional wounds need attention, care, and time to heal. Many of us carry the weight of past hurts, often unaware of their impact. We might feel incomplete or struggle to form deep connections. This journey is about recognizing those wounds and learning how to heal. It's about reclaiming our power and embracing our vulnerability. Let's begin this journey together with open hearts and courageous spirits. The first sign we're going to explore is low self-esteem. It can be subtle, like a whisper in the back of your mind that says you're not good enough. You might find yourself constantly seeking validation from others. Low self-esteem can also show up as a fear of failure. This fear can keep us trapped in a cycle of self-doubt. But here's the truth. Your worth is not determined by external factors. It's inherent, it's unchangeable, and it's beautiful. Healing begins by practicing self-compassion. Write down affirmations, things you admire about yourself. Acknowledge your strengths and celebrate small wins. Surround yourself with uplifting people. Your value is within you, not from external validation. Self-compassion is a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a dear friend. When you make a mistake, offer yourself words of encouragement. Practice gratitude to build self-compassion. Appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. Focusing on the positive can shift your perspective. Healing is a journey with ups and downs. Be patient with yourself. Another sign of a wounded woman is engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors. These patterns hold us back from joy, love, and success. It's like having a foot on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. Self-sabotage can manifest in many ways. It might be procrastination or avoiding tasks, staying in unhealthy relationships, or engaging in negative self-talk. Recognizing these patterns is crucial to breaking free. To heal from self-sabotage, begin by identifying triggers. Then, build healthier routines. Engage in activities that promote well-being, like journaling, therapy, or exercise. When the urge to self-sabotage hits, ask yourself, what am I avoiding? And face those feelings. Self-sabotage often protects us from potential hurt. We might believe that if we don't try, we can't fail, or fear success because it means stepping outside our comfort zone. True growth happens outside of our comfort zone. Set small, achievable goals. Celebrate each victory, no matter how small, and feel proud of your progress. Each time you try again, you're one step closer to breaking free. Relationships. They can be our greatest source of love and belonging, or they can be a painful reminder of our deepest wounds. If you find yourself caught in a cycle of unhealthy relationships, it's time to pause and listen to your heart. What is it trying to tell you? We often seek in others what we feel we lack within ourselves. We might be drawn to partners who confirm our negative self-beliefs, unconsciously seeking to validate the stories we tell ourselves. But this, my friends, is a recipe for heartbreak. Healing requires courage. Set boundaries, say no, and walk away from diminishing relationships. It's self-respect, not selfishness. Honor your needs and desires. As we heal, we trust again. Be vulnerable, open to love. Healing is a journey, not a destination. The fear of rejection. It's a universal human experience, isn't it? This deep-seated fear of not being good enough, of being unworthy of love and belonging, can be paralyzing. But here's the truth. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel that vulnerability. What's not okay is letting fear dictate our lives, holding us back from living authentically. We are not defined by the moments that broke us. We are defined by how we rise from those ashes. Overcoming the fear of rejection is an inside job. It's about building our inner security, our sense of self-worth, so that our value doesn't hinge on external validation. It's about recognizing that our worthiness is inherent, not something that needs to be earned or proven. This means cultivating self-love and self-compassion. It means treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a dear friend. It means speaking to ourselves with love and encouragement, even when we stumble or fall short. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can be incredibly helpful in this journey. They help us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings, allowing us to observe the fear of rejection without judgment, without letting it consume us. Remember, you are worthy of love and belonging just as you are. Let's start living like we believe it. That inner critic. We all have one, don't we? That voice inside our heads that's quick to point out our flaws, to remind us of our mistakes, to whisper doubts and insecurities. It can be utterly relentless, chipping away at our self-esteem, leaving us feeling inadequate and unworthy. This self-criticism, my friends, is a form of self-sabotage. It keeps us stuck in a cycle of shame and self-doubt, preventing us from living our most authentic and fulfilling lives. It tells us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not thin enough. The list goes on. But here's the truth. We are enough, just as we are. We are worthy of love and belonging, flaws and all. It's time to silence that inner critic, to challenge those negative thoughts that keep us small. The first step is to become aware of this critical inner voice. Healing from self-criticism begins with self-compassion. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a dear friend. It's about recognizing that we're human, perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. When that inner critic starts to rear its ugly head, try replacing those harsh judgments with kinder, more compassionate thoughts. Instead of saying, "I'm such a failure," try saying, "I'm still learning and growing." Instead of focusing on your flaws, try acknowledging your strengths and accomplishments. Practices like journaling and meditation can be incredibly helpful in cultivating self-compassion. Journaling allows us to process our emotions, to identify negative thought patterns, and to challenge them. Meditation helps us cultivate a sense of inner peace and acceptance, allowing us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are not your mistakes. You are worthy of love and belonging just as you are. Let's start treating ourselves that way. We all have coping mechanisms. They're the strategies we use to deal with difficult emotions. Sometimes they're healthy, like going for a run or calling a friend. but sometimes they become unhealthy. These habits numb us instead of helping us heal. Think about what you do when you're overwhelmed. Do you reach for another glass of wine, lose yourself in social media, or bury yourself in work? These behaviors offer temporary relief but don't address the root problem. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards healing. It takes courage to turn inward and acknowledge our coping mechanisms. Awareness without shame is key. We can see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Choose paths that lead to genuine healing and wholeness. Healing from unhealthy coping mechanisms isn't about willpower or forcing ourselves to change overnight. It's about cultivating self-compassion and building a toolkit of healthy strategies. Show up for yourself in ways that feel authentic and empowering. Explore practices like yoga, meditation, or spending time in nature. Maybe it's journaling, creating art, or listening to music. Find what works for you, what makes you feel alive. Build a life that supports your well-being. Fill it with practices and people that remind you of your strength. Trust yourself. Believe in your power to heal and thrive. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate each small victory. You are worthy of healing. Have you ever felt like you were overreacting to something small? Like your emotions were disproportionate to the situation? This is a sign of a wounded heart. We develop tender spots in our emotional landscape. Small things can trigger intense feelings. We're carrying old wounds. Even a slight bump can send shockwaves. These big feelings are rooted in unresolved pain. Approach these moments with curiosity and compassion. Our big feelings are messengers from our wounded selves. So, how do we decipher these messages? How do we connect our big feelings to their root cause? It starts with awareness. The next time you notice yourself having a big reaction to something seemingly small, pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of getting swept away by the intensity of your emotions, turn towards them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling? What does this remind me of? Maybe a dismissive comment from your boss triggers feelings of unworthiness that stem from a childhood where your accomplishments were minimized. Be gentle with yourself. It takes courage to delve into our past wounds. You're doing this to understand yourself better, to heal. Connect the dots between your past and present to respond from a place of healing. So many of us, especially women, have been taught to suppress our emotions, to bottle them up and put on a brave face. We're told that expressing our feelings is a sign of weakness, that it makes us too much or too emotional. But here's the thing about emotions. They don't just disappear when we ignore them. They fester and grow in the darkness. And often, they find their way out in unhealthy ways, through anger outbursts, passive aggression, or even physical ailments. When we struggle to express our emotions, it creates a disconnect within ourselves. We lose touch with our needs, our desires, our authentic selves. It can leave us feeling unheard, unseen, and deeply misunderstood. But here's the good news. Learning to express our emotions is a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned and cultivated with practice and compassion. One of the most powerful tools for tapping into our emotional vocabulary is journaling. Take some time each day to simply sit with your feelings and write them down. Don't censor yourself or worry about grammar or punctuation. Just let the words flow freely onto the page. You might be surprised by what emerges. As you become more comfortable expressing your emotions on paper, you can start to explore sharing them with others. This could be a trusted friend, a therapist, or even yourself in the mirror. Start small. Share one feeling at a time. Remember, vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of connection, authenticity, and true emotional freedom. And as you practice expressing your emotions, you'll find that it becomes easier to set healthy boundaries, communicate your needs, and cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Healing. Emotional wounds is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel strong and empowered, and there will be days when the weight of your wounds feels heavy. You don't have to do it all at once, and you don't have to do it alone. You are worthy of healing and living fully in your feminine power.